Hey friends, it's me again. Today what was on my mind was uh, the difference between living and merely surviving. I feel like most of my life has been survival, um, just from upbringing and stuff like that, and being a product of a baby raising babies, and then turn around and kind of doing that myself. With having my first child at 19, it has been like from that moment, I just knew that I was one of them people that didn't want to live, being supported by the system. So I got out, I made, a living working hard. I've been blessed to, be in positions where I was able to afford my life, and I didn't have to depend on the system. So, but, I feel like I gave up everything else, as far as like really being able to live. Like I just started making sure that, my children, ones after the other, that they had everything, and I think even that could be a problem. Just thinking that parenting is providing material for your children, making sure they have clothes, shoes, food, that I think is a huge issue. I think that's a lot of what the youth nowadays are dealing with, the fact that they had a lot of material but not a lot of that inner nurturing, as far as just understanding like their feelings and being able to express themselves and stuff. A lot of the mindset centered around what love mean and whatnot, is probably well into the material, like it was for myself. Like I just remember my mom doing everything for us. Anything we wanted, she'd do it. Even if she didn't have it, she would give us her last. People used to be like, man, you're so spoiled. It's a Monday and your mom just take you to the mall and just buy you what you want just because it's a Monday. But to me, that was love. Like I didn't know anything outside of that. I was never embraced. Was never told I love you. So to this day, unfortunately, I've never told my mom I loved her. Not just me initiating. And when I have said it, it was really weird. I knew my mom loved me. I knew I loved my mom, but it just didn't feel authentic. Outside of just what she was able to do for me and vice versa. That's kind of how I did things as well. So with my children, me knowing that yeah, it's a survival thing, making sure they have what they need, just out of fear that I wouldn't ever want my children to suffer. But I started to show them and give them the things that I didn't have. But I spent so much time doing that, so much time with my children, so much time. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I feel like more parents probably should spend time with their children. I feel like that's what a lot of children is missing is, active parenting, so I was giving all of that to my children, and I don't regret it. I feel like they needed it, but I think I probably overdid it. And merely just put myself on the back burner, just making sure everybody else's needs were met before my own. Whereas now I'm starting to realize what living is, like living is being your authentic self, being self-expressive, being in your elements in your environment that bring you so much peace, and it don't have to be going places and doing things, just like your mind just opening to new ideas, like I'm exploring what that is and I'm loving it. Never knew, out of the years I done been on this earth, the years that I've, you know, kind of just started learning about a lot of this stuff, it just, man, I'm happy, you know. I could genuinely say that, you know. Sometimes I feel like we say things just because, you know, it just feels like it's the right thing to say, but I could genuinely say that I'm happy. I could genuinely say that for the first time in my life, I'm actually living and I'm enjoying what that looks like, what that feels like, and still loving my children at the same time, still providing for them, still giving them what they need, you know, but finding that time to do for me as well and make sure I am well, because as I say, you know, when I'm doing well, they doing well, period. But yeah, so, you know, kind of, you know, shifting my mindset around, or, you know, it's the best thing to do as far as, you know, getting out of the habits of merely surviving, you know, trying to get by, even financially, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of where it starts too, you know, because I don't come from a background where people have a healthy relationship with money, so hence I didn't either, and everything was about material, whereas now, you know, I do think more along quality than quantity, and I teach my children that as well. Like, it's cool, you know, to have nice things or whatever, but it's even better when you know that you have a savings, when you know how, you know, you have some stability, you know, where you don't have to worry, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you know. So survival for me was just that. It was, you know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. I don't even know who the fuck the Joneses are. I don't know why the hell we was keeping up with them. I don't want to keep up with the motherfuckers anymore. I'm gonna be honest, you know what I mean? I don't know them. I don't want to know them, you know. I just want to know me and keep up with me at this point, you know. So, you know, I definitely, you know, had to shift my mindset centered around a lot of stuff. Like I said, doing that introspecting on every part of your life, you know what I mean? From, you know, financial, spiritual, just physical, you know, emotional. You know, you gotta really dig deep into everything about you to find you, get to your authentic self, so that you stop just surviving, you know. Like, who just want to survive, you know what I mean? Like, that's not living, you know, when you every day is just about survival, clocking in and out of work, you know, coming home, doing for your kids and your family or whatever, you know, and not setting aside time for yourself, you know, and feeling at peace. Let me tell y'all, for 12 years straight, I used to have these excruciating headaches. Sometimes it was just too unbearable, you know, where I had to take, you know, a little pain medicine, you know. At one point, I kind of got a little addicted, you know, but then I stopped taking medication altogether. I absolutely don't believe in it. I started drinking a lot of water, and that started helping. So a lot of it probably had to do with dehydration, but I think a lot of it is mental as well. But for the past, honestly, I just noticed it just the other day. I was like, wow, you know, for like the past few weeks, I haven't had not one headache, not one. And I'm not used to that. That is so weird for me, you know. So I was definitely dealing with a lot of unnecessary stress in my life, and walking away from my marriage clearly was the best thing I could have had done. Even though it was really hard, I could tell just by the fact that I haven't had not one headache, have not stressed, I've been at all kind of peace, that was definitely interfering with my health. And when it comes to that, that's all we have is our health. So you gotta do what you gotta do, right? So yeah, figure out what it is where, you know, you see yourself surviving and not living, so that you can address whatever it is that's in your way and, you know, disrupting, you know, your life to where you're not living, so that you can start living your life, because it is so necessary. You know, we only get to live once, you know, so why not take advantage of the opportunity that we have with the time we have left, you know, because we don't know, You know, I could be saying this today and gone tomorrow, who knows, but at least I know that I'm at peace, you know. So I'm gonna continue my journey. Hopefully this helped you identify, you know, some moments or some areas in your life where you stuck and you need to, you know, stop surviving and start living. Yeah, so that was the message today. See you guys.